introduce yourself if you like to, and just start at the very beginning, when you got into veganism, how you got into it, and then what happened.
Hi, I'm Katie. I was vegan from October, November 2015 till, and I stopped being vegan August 2018, so I was vegan for almost 3 years. Um, and I was vegetarian for 5 years, so a few years before that. And I thought that it was a good thing to do. I was a little overweight, and I thought it would be a good way to lose weight. And it was. I was almost at the end there. I was struggling to maintain 107, 108 pounds, and it wasn't satisfying. So nothing what I did worked. I During the time the reason why I went vegan, vegetarian, then vegan, was I thought that it was good for my health and good for the earth, good for the environment, all those things everyone says. So I got really into the ideology of it, thinking that animals were, that they needed to have rights and that we shouldn't be killing them, and it was just really bad. So that's why I'm also telling my story, because I just see now how much the vegan cult is just kind of taken over in so many ways. It's like everywhere now. And I'm really grateful that I got out of it, because it really is a mental thing. Um, and I originally wanted to do that because I wanted to lose weight and be healthier. But the more I was vegan, the more I tried everything, I just kept losing weight and losing weight. And then the end there, I was just doing one meal a day because I didn't want to eat all day long. And so I eat these huge meals, tons of beans and rice and tofu, and then I would stuff myself with dates and peanut butter, just trying to be satisfied. Nothing worked. It was I could be completely full and bloated, but I was still hungry, really hungry. And I noticed this one other person I followed on Instagram. He was also vegan, and he was very into it. But then he had gained weight, and I remember thinking, oh, that's cool that he's gaining weight. That's awesome. I wonder if he's vegan still. And I come to find out he hadn't been vegan for 3 or 4 months, and he came out and said that he wasn't anymore. And I was okay, why is it okay for somebody else to get better and healthy? Why can't I? So that started that whole thing. I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And I remember I was just so okay, what can I eat? What's the first thing I can eat? So the first thing I ate was an egg, and that just I just felt it in my in my body. It was like, what are you're stupid, what the heck? This is so good for you. So I started eating eggs, and slowly just brought back other foods, and I'm starting to eat more. Actually, I started eating raw eggs a few weeks ago, and I just felt that immediately in my brain. I don't know, I sucked at an egg, and I was like, what the heck? This is so good. And now I tried eating the raw meat too, and it's good. It's just our minds getting past all the this is what you should do, and realizing that most of it's all about consuming our energy, and by depleting our energy, and just a whole manipulation thing. So it's about enjoying your life, and I think that's been what I've been doing the last year, is learning how to actually listen to my body and enjoy myself, and not listen to what other people are saying in the mainstream about health, because that's obviously very much controlled by money, and you make more money when people are sick and don't know what they're doing. So I've been looking at a lot of traditional methods of eating, and just figuring out what works best for me. But it makes sense. It's a simple way is the best way, even though it doesn't seem that way at first. It does. I mean, it's the fastest food ever, just cracking a egg open and eating it. It's this is it makes sense, and it's just great. But
Why did you start eating the one meal a day? Was it too much food, the fiber? Was it the taste of the vegan food?
I was cause I did try it. I was eating a lot, but the vegetables and all that, I'm really glad, honestly, I didn't eat so many of them, because I mean, I just never, it wasn't good. It didn't taste good. I always had to force myself to eat all the greens and stuff. And I think they did the one meal a day just so then I could just eat all the crap at one time, you know?
Right.
And I'd be so bloated. I didn't want to be bloated all day long. So, um, and it seemed like a, a good way to eat for some reason. Also, with fasting. I remember I would just not want to eat, so I would fast, you know, I would do that. And then at one point I did juice thing and would just do the juicing for like a month. And that was not fun, but I tried it. I think I tried all of the different ways to be vegan.
Would you say that you did the vegan diet right, as they say, supplementing also?
I was actually starting to supplement there at the end, and that's another reason why I was like, this is weird, because to me it just doesn't make sense that we would need to do that if they were providing everything we needed. So that was also a thing. But then I wasn't mentally able to like function in some ways. Like I could tell that I was like very loopy, you know, like I would get like these bursts after I eat like some sugar or whatever, but then I would just be like, I don't really want to do anything. I'll just hang out. And at the time, like for the last 2 years, I was helping out like on like, just helping people on their land. So I really didn't have like work, you know, but I was able to just be a little bit whatever. But I mean, if I had to like mentally do stuff, it would have been I probably would have noticed it a lot sooner because I couldn't focus very well. So yeah.
Did you have any vegan friends? What do they
Uh,
think about you quitting now?
I had one before I left where I live now, and I lost contact with her, and I never had any vegan friends when I moved out west, and I honestly, like you, I was trying to meet people, but it didn't work out. And then it's funny because right after I started eating meat again, I went to a restaurant and the server was vegan. I was like, that's pretty funny. But no, I mean, I think on my Instagram, I was very into like spreading awareness and pushing the vegan agenda. And so when I said I was no longer vegan, I got a lot of hate from people I didn't even know, saying like some really horrible things. And it just kind of showed me like the true colors of the whole thing because it was, yeah, I wasn't able to make any connections when I was vegan, and then all the vegans are like not, you know, they were very awful in the way they said some things in the comment section there. It's like, oh, you should just starve yourself instead of to eat animals. I was like, well, I was starving myself, so that's why I'm eating them now.
Did you have any other health issues besides the bloating, tiredness, maybe
I know.
sleeping problems, something with the teeth?
Yes, I noticed that my teeth were um, like very sensitive there at the end, and also like sleeping was okay, but like it wasn't deep sleep. Just kind of like I never felt like completely rested. And then also my periods were really awful at the end there, like super bad. And since I've been eating meat, like it's a lot not the pain's not there so much. So I think that would have been something I ended up losing if I continued down that route. Um, and I just felt so weak, and I think kind of like gray in the face at the end there. Like I didn't have so much life, and I didn't have like I just felt like there was no spark, you know. And then like I ate the meat, and it was like I could feel it in my body. It was like life again. And so that's another thing. I'm like, okay, so we have everything backwards here because this death is what gives us life, and when we're living, we're dying. So it's like the cycle is like not really respected, and that's I think a really big part of why the vegan agenda is pushed too, because it goes against nature, and you know all of like the reason why we're here is because we did eat meat, and so yeah.
Right. What is the future of veganism? What do you think?
I think maybe it's this whole like people have to go if they're going down this route, they have to, you know, they have to figure it out. Either they will or they won't, because it really kind of takes over your mind. And I think the future of veganism is hopefully that, you know, people realize it's not good for you. But then that likely will only happen as their health deteriorates. But even then, people will, hold on to it because they want to be right, and they want to admit that they made a mistake because they want to have some type of like power over nature. But I think that's the whole point. Is it's like it goes against nature, so they're pushing this to continue like the mental thing on our minds.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's very like anti-human. So I remember being so angry at the world, and then Epiphany was like, well, maybe the world's mad at you, and maybe you're the one that has to change because you did the change and it doesn't work. Like we remember smelling like the food, the meat, and wanting it and being like, oh, it's cool that they're having it, but it's like, no, you need it. That's why you're craving it. But they have all these like Franken foods and crap, so it's probably got some stuff in it that is addictive. So people probably think that's okay to eat, but it just will end up causing probably more health problems in the long run. And it looks like a hard lesson, but maybe it's the one that we have to go through so we can realize that it's not the truth. I think the truth comes out for everyone in the end. Either you die or you come back to life somehow by eating meat again.
So looking back at it, you see it as a lesson, you don't exactly regret it.
No, I mean, I now can say that I attempted to do things the way like they say is healthy and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's a hard lesson to go through, but we want to have our full health, and maybe in order to have that in this world that's so backwards, we have to go through it that way. I would hope that other people can hear what other vegans are saying, especially women, young women and older women, because it's not good for us to not have fat. We need it for our brain and our bodies to function. So, and I think we're here to be happy, and if you're miserable and everything you eat doesn't make you feel good, or you have to force yourself to eat it. But
did you experience anything special throughout your vegan time? Anything memorable that you would like to share?
I think that when you are not eating, like your body eats yourself a bit, you do get these like feelings like you're like so high and like whatever, like, oh, it's okay, and then you feel like you're doing your part by not eating meat, so it gives you like this sense of like entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
And I also felt like I was just better than all the non-meat eaters out there when I was vegan, which is completely not true, but it really makes you kind of like set yourself apart from the whole world, essentially. I don't know if anything really good came out of it, except that now I can say that I don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. And I'm not part of... I think it's good to recognize ideologies that can take over your brain. It's good to know how you can be deceived by not doing what it is that your body needs to function.
Mm-hmm. Is it fair to say that you were basically on a normal vegan diet and you somehow deep down realized that you were starving and that's why you went down the route of juicing and so on? Because that's how it happens with a lot of vegans.
Yes, yeah, I think so, because I think it's true that you start to find all these other ways to make it work because it's not working.
Right.
So you're like, okay, so this isn't satisfying me, maybe I need to do this, or maybe I just need a detox, and that was a big thing. And And I think the word we really need to start thinking about is nourishing our bodies. Like nourish, what does nourishing mean? And a lot of that is time consuming, and that's likely why we've so fallen far off this. Is like it takes a long time to create good food, but if you're gonna like make things like the right way, but I mean just eating an animal in its natural state and like eggs, that's not hard, but like making bone broths and all that, that's something that isn't done every day. The people don't do that. I'm sure that's a healthy thing to do. I don't know. There's just a lot of things I'm still figuring out, and I think it's just learning how to listen to your body is key.
Mm. All right. Thanks a lot for sharing your story.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for listening, and I hope anyone that's eating vegan and feels like they have to save the world realizes that that's not true. That I think the way we save the world is by saving ourselves and doing what our body needs, and then we can appreciate others a bit more too and find others that are doing the same. Because if you're not caring for yourself, you can't really care for anyone else. So.
Well said.